Abu here in the Rashash and Sefirat on page Reish Nun Ches is where we're located now. I'm not sure if we did the Tavla already or if we didn't, but at any rate, let's read from the top. It says Hamshachos Mochin Seder Hatikunim v'Hamshachos L'Zer Anpin. Now, a lot of this information, I think you're probably much better at this than me, but I'm looking for the language of the Rashash as well. I was trying to understand the diagrams and so on and so forth. It says Kamoshim Nesmar L'Zer Anpin Yeshnan Chamisha Partzufim Kolalim. So here in the Tavla, you see that the 5 Partzufim across the very top, Keser, Chachma, Bina, Chagat, and Nai. So he said Partzufim Kolalim, V'hinech Shlomo shall call parts of Hukashiyesh Lo as call Hamochim Shalom. So therefore, all of the mochin, in other words, to bring those mochin in, brings in the Shlomo, the Shlomo. V'lekol chelik b'vendel yesh chelik mochin b'shayach alav. So every single portion has mochin that go to it. Hamochim the nefesh heim hamochin the parts of anaya kolel. So the nefesh is we're going through Naranti here a little bit. Hamochin the ruach heim hamochin the parts of chagat. Hamochin the neshama parts of abida, hamochin the chaya parts of chochma. Hamochin the yechida is the parts of keser. Now that we know the basic ideas there. So in this drawing, those are in the dark print. So that's the part that the parts of Chagat and the parts of Nai are already mesuken, but the rest is still up in the air. So he says, so what we have to do in these 6,000 years, Alfei Shnin, who lahashlim v'lesakem eshloshes partzufi kacha v'kolim v'zer anpin. So that's really where all of our work in this 6,000 years is to complete the partzufim v'keser chachma and bina. V'heim hamochin the neshama, the parts of a bina, chaya the parts of a chachma, and yechida the parts of a keser. So, I guess just reading the tabla, or just looking at the tabla says, Hezber tabla, the tabla, he says, Yeshel hamisha partzufim kolonim, so across the top, that's them. Haneklam kol echad, the yud aleph partzufi ba'ovis, so if you count them up in ovi, going to, widthwise, you'll count them up, you'll count that, if you include, Kasser, it becomes 11 spheros. And each one of those 11, across an ovi, nachlochim kol echad the yud aleph partzufi ba'orach, so each one of them has 10 partzufim within it. Now he's using nechzod to call echad the yud aleph partzufi, so he says each one is a partzuf. So the partzuf is the whole system. So he's shnei partzufi chagat v'naya kolon the zer anpin. Amusumanim, those are the ones that are in dark, in Musukanim, Kavar, Metachilas, and Silusim. So, at the very beginning of the reality of Zeranpin, these are already Masukin, that all the Mochin of the Chaganai are in there. V'neshach b'leita desakin l'shloshes partzufi keser choch b'bina kol Zeranpin. Now he says like this: Hamochim and Nimshachim the Zeranpin, the partzufim, the Mochin come from partzufim up above. Yonim and Makbilim, which corresponds, they have the same addresses, Bebechinosim, the Osech, Bechinas parts of, to the parts of that they're going to. The hundred of the parts of Bina were called the Zer Anpin, so looking at the parts of Bina of Zer Anpin, Nimshachim, Mochim, and Partsufim, Yasos, Shehe Bechinas Bina, which would be the hay that we were talking about in the morning shir. He says, Nimshachim, Mochim, and Partsufim, Yasos, Sheheba Bechinas Bina, the Klaus Atzilus. V'hamochim alalu heba Bechinas Neshama. So those mochim are called the mochim. They're also called by the name Neshama. They're the Neshama, the Penimius to Zeranpin. V'nikroim mochim the Yasos, and they're also the mochim the Achus, the parts of the Yasos. Period. The parts of Chachma are called the Zeranpin. Now in the parts of the Chachma, which is the kolel of I don't know. I guess he's starting from the bottom where he wants to Bina, and now he's going to go to Chochma. Nimshachim mochim bepartzu abba ve'ime Eloi, and it gets a higher level. Sheheba bechinas Chochma the klalos atzilus. So they're called the Bechina, they're the light of Chaya. Now, I always thought that Naranki represented Oros in the cold summer kind of idea here. They're the Abba v'Iber Elohim, they're the Mochim for Abba v'Iber Elohim, the parts, whoops, I guess I lost them. Okay, I guess I lost you, I didn't realize that. So, where I guess we'll start here where it says the parts of Chochmah, the very bottom of the right column. He says, Akol the Zeranpin, Nimshachim Mochim, they come from a higher place, which is Abba v'Im b'Elohim, She'em b'Bechinas Chochmah, the Klaus Hatzilos. V'Mochim al-Aduchim b'Bechinas Chaya. So now there's this aspect of them, which is called Chaya. V'Nikroim Mochim, the Abba v'Im b'Elohim. Those are the Mochim of Abba v'Im b'Elohim. So he says the parts of Kasser, which were also missing, Hakola Dezer Anpin, Nimshachim Mochin, the parts of Arich. So the, Mochim coming from the Kasser into the parts of Arich, I guess of Zer Anpin. Shebechinas Kasser, the Klalos Atzilus, which is the Kasser of the Kalos of Atzilus. That's the area that we're talking about here, and then we see the Oivi and the Orach. He says, and they're called Mochin Derich. So now we say, let's see how we're doing here. He says, so he said, so whenever you're talking about Mochin, you have to understand that they're in doubles. Mochin de Dacher and Mochin de Nog. He says, could go in the Mochin de Neshama. Let's say, for example, the Mochin de Neshama and Nimshach and the parts of a Bina. So now the Neshama is coming from Bina, right? Klulim b'shnei bechinas mochim. It has two different kinds of mochim in there. Now you could say that's the vav and the daled, maybe something from the morning shir. He says klulim b'shnei bechinas mochim, mochin de Yisrael Saba or mochin de Tavuna. So both of those are coming in. Mochin de Chaya and Nimshach and the parts of a Chochmah, klulim mochin de Abba and mochin de Ima. Mochin de Yechida, the mochin de Yechida, Nimshach in the parts of a Kesser, they're going to go into the parts of the Kakuklulim, mochin de Arich, mochin de Nuk de Arich. So now we bring in that concept. Let's see if we could do one more. Is it? No. Wrong there again. Okay. That's the end of that shir. It was a little short today. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator Kolel.